Welcome back, my friends, and thank you for being here with me today on Senior Benefits Insider. If this is your first time joining us, I'm truly glad you found this channel. And if you've been here with me for a while, welcome back. I know how important it is to stay informed, especially when every dollar matters and every update can affect your daily life. So take a breath, get comfortable, maybe grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk through this together. Now listen closely, because what I'm about to share with you is not just another headline. This is a breaking, overnight development that directly affects millions of seniors across the United States, especially those living on fixed incomes. At approximately 2 o'clock in the early hours of the morning, while most of the country was asleep, something very significant happened in Washington. The approval of the $2,000 tariff rebate checks is now official. This wasn't teased on the evening news. There was no big press conference, no flashing lights, no microphones lined up. Instead, the confirmation came quietly, through internal Treasury notifications, signaling that this program has officially moved from discussion into execution. And for seniors, especially those relying on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI, this moment is far more important than it may first appear. Here's why. While the early headlines around these tariff rebate checks focused on workers in middle-income households, the internal documents released overnight reveal something much deeper. The program was quietly restructured. And in that restructuring, seniors were no longer treated as an afterthought. Instead, many were moved into priority status. Let me explain that in plain, simple terms. This $2,000 payment is not funded like past stimulus checks. It does not come from a new spending bill passed by Congress. Instead, it is funded by revenue collected from import tariffs. That distinction matters more than most people realize. Because the money already exists, the Treasury Department does not need Congress to approve new legislation. Once eligibility categories are finalized, Treasury has the authority to move forward with payments. And that is exactly what happened overnight. According to officials familiar with the process, the President approved a revised eligibility framework late in the evening after reviewing updated economic data. And those reports revealed an uncomfortable truth. Inflation has hit older Americans harder than almost any other group. Rising grocery prices, higher utility bills, increasing rent, and especially medical costs have placed enormous pressure on seniors who rely almost entirely on fixed monthly benefits. And until now, that reality was not fully reflected in the original design of the tariff rebate program. But overnight, that changed. What makes this update different is not just the confirmation of the $2,000 checks themselves. It's the quiet restructuring that happened alongside the approval. A restructuring that moves low-income seniors closer to the front of the line. Internal Treasury documentation confirms that low-income seniors were added to a brand new eligibility list, a list that did not even exist earlier this week. This was not accidental. Officials were instructed to re-evaluate who was being hit hardest by rising prices. And when they looked at the data honestly, seniors living on fixed incomes rose straight to the top. If you rely on Social Security, Supplemental Security Income, or Social Security Disability Insurance as your primary or only source of income, your eligibility profile has fundamentally changed. Treasury created a new classification specifically for households with limited or fixed income, and seniors were placed squarely inside that category. What does that mean for you in real life? It means many seniors are no longer waiting behind millions of working households. Instead, they've been moved closer to the front, where approvals happen faster and verification is simpler. If your income barely covers rent, food, utilities, and medical expenses, the system now recognizes that vulnerability. One sentence inside the Treasury review triggered this entire shift. It stated that households with limited purchasing power should not be left behind. That single line changed everything. Officials say the decision was fast-tracked after updated economic data showed a sharp increase in senior financial stress, especially among those receiving below-average Social Security benefits. Seniors earning under about $1,300 per month were identified as being among the most impacted by inflation, even more so than many working households whose incomes can increase over time. And here's something very important that many people are missing. This priority status is not symbolic. It directly affects how fast your eligibility is reviewed and how soon your payment could be approved. To understand why this matters so much, you need to understand how this program works. Unlike past stimulus payments, which required new filings and often caused delays, this tariff rebate program relies heavily on existing federal data. Treasury uses records from the IRS and the Social Security Administration. For seniors, that's a major advantage. Your benefit information, income records, and payment details are already in the system. Because of that, Treasury was able to introduce a new 3-tier payment structure almost immediately. And this is where things really shift in your favor. Under the revised system, low-income seniors were placed directly into Tier 1, the highest priority tier. This tier is reserved for households most affected by rising prices and least able to absorb them. Seniors relying on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI score extremely high in this system, not because they earn more, but because their income is fixed and vulnerable. Working households may see wages rise over time. Seniors do not. And the model finally reflects that reality. Many seniors earning under approximately $30,000 per year saw their eligibility score jump dramatically. Those receiving under $1,300 per month were flagged as highly vulnerable. And seniors receiving under $1,100 per month were moved into the highest priority lane within Tier 1. Let me make this practical. Imagine a retiree living alone, receiving $1,200 a month from Social Security. Rent goes up. Groceries cost more. Prescription co-pays increase. There is no extra income to fall back on. Under the old framework, that person was treated the same as a household with 2 incomes. Under the new system, that senior is recognized as high priority. Another important update affects seniors who do not normally file tax returns. In the past, that caused delays. Under the revised structure, Treasury now uses Social Security Administration data to bypass those bottlenecks. That means many seniors who were delayed during past stimulus programs may move through this one much faster. Now let's address one of the biggest questions I've been hearing. Do you need to apply? For most seniors, the answer is no. Eligibility reviews will be handled automatically using existing federal data. If your address, direct deposit information, and benefit records are current, Treasury can verify everything without additional paperwork. However, and this is important, if your address has changed recently or your banking information is outdated, you may receive a request to confirm details through your IRS or My Social Security account. These requests should not be ignored. Responding quickly helps keep your payment moving. Another concern I hear all the time is whether this payment will reduce your Social Security, SSI, or SSDI benefits. Treasury officials have been very clear. It will not. This payment is classified as a rebate, not income. It does not affect monthly benefits, does not reduce future payments, and does not impact cost of living adjustments. For SSI recipients, the payment does not count as income. However, officials do recommend using the funds for essential expenses rather than holding them long-term, as large balances can affect asset-based programs if left untouched. As for timing, while exact payment dates have not yet been released, the internal timeline strongly suggests seniors in Tier 1 could see confirmations earlier than many other groups. Approval comes first, then payment processing. Some of you may see status updates before money arrives, and that's normal. The most important thing you can do right now is make sure your information is accurate and stay alert for official notifications. And please be cautious of scams. Treasury and Social Security will never call or text asking for personal information. This moment represents something bigger than just a check. It represents recognition. For too long, seniors have faced rising costs with little flexibility. This update doesn't fix everything, but it does move seniors out of the back of the line. I'll continue monitoring this closely and bring you updates as soon as they're confirmed. If this information